friends. Hello, nice friends. I hope you're all well. I hope you're doing whatever you need to do for wherever you are in your journey to care for yourself. Take care of yourself. So I'm calling you nice friends today because overwhelmingly, voice teachers are nice people. And so that is why we're talking about that today. Sometimes, hi, Stephen. Sometimes we're even too nice. So our jobs demand that we have these intimate relationships with our students. And we are artists who are nurturing other artists. And that being the case, we also end up being kind of unlicensed therapists a lot of the time. We become part of our clients' sort of support team, support network. And we genuinely care about each and every one of our students, right? Okay, 95% of our students. Because every once in a while. Anyway, but one of the reasons that we love our strange and wonderful job that we have is that we have these great relationships and intimate relationships with our clients. But that can lead to a slippery slope. And the slippery slope can often show up in the form of you the professional service provider, putting other people's perceived needs before your own. And let me just stress that a little bit in case you missed it. Perceived needs. Honestly, our sensitivity can be so finely honed that we will make up things that aren't there. We all do it, especially when it comes to money. Money can be how much you charge. It can be how much time you spend. It can be your overall financial well-being. Now, I know you're a softie. I know you've been teaching the way you teach for some time. And I know there are ways that you do things that are really a good fit for you and that feel right. But today, I want to just sort of throw some ideas in the hopper for you, some suggestions, some money suggestions, time, techie suggestions, and I'm going to just throw them out for you to consider. I hope you'll stay with me, and I hope you'll be open to some new ideas. Oh, Stephen says, I'm glad. Oh. Wait a minute. I have to do this. I'm going to try to do this better. Stephen says, I'm glad I can watch this later so I can listen over and over. I know. You know what, Stephen? When I was writing this, I was thinking this is really good for me to be saying to anybody, including myself. Anyway, so I hear you on that. I am Meredith Colby. I help voice teachers create confident singing and teaching and singing of contemporary styles. You can find me right here on Facebook at 1 o'clock on Mondays. That's 1 o'clock Central Time. And all the other times I list on my little banner on my page, meredithcolby.neurovocal method on Facebook, as well as meredithcolby.com, where you can buy my book. You can sign up for classes. You can sign up for personal lessons. And there's also free information on that page. It's just a plethora of stuff at meredithcolby.com. Now, Stephen is already piping up, and I'm hoping we will have some other people here today as well. Although, Stephen, if it's just you and me, we're the party. So, but if you hear me or another teacher say something or ask a question that really works for you or that you want to give a little love to, click thumbs up, give them a heart, give them a thumbs up, and then we'll know. We'll all be participating. It'll be great. Anyway, and you can also do that on the replay, by the way. I'm delighted that you're here with me today, and I am looking forward to hearing your experiences and your thoughts. My freebie today is a link to an article that's going to have the things we talk about today and about twice as many. I think I cut the article in half, or maybe I cut it in more than half because time constraint. So the article has the ideas we'll talk about today and also more ideas for you to just consider. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, just throwing some thoughts out there. So if you want that, if you would like the Neurovocal bot to send you a link to that article, put raise in the comments and the bot will send it to you. Hopefully. If you've been with me the last few weeks, you know, I think the bot is cooperating, but I don't want to get too positive about it. Anyway, so before I start sharing, I do need to issue a caveat. I have to be very clear about all this, that this broadcast is not meant to be a business overhaul. If you want to get serious about your business mindset, there are coaches, there are classes, there are groups for long-term strategy implementation that will, help you create a very solid studio business. So this is not that. It's just some ideas for you to think about. I know Michelle Marquardt DeVoe has a wonderful class called How to Run Your Studio Without Hating Your Boss. And I've heard nothing but raves about that class. Sarah Campbell has a branding boot camp if you want to bump up your visibility. It's specifically for studio owners, so that's really cool. But today we're just going to throw out a few ideas. So if you want these ideas, listen up. If you want these ideas and more, then put raise in the comments and I will send you that little article that I wrote for you. Okay? Let's go. Let's do this thing. Now, I just heard my door. Could be my daughter, could be my dog. My dog doesn't like to be left out. Okay. Sorry. Here we are. Hi, Diane. So we're gonna start with your mindset. Okay? So because a lot of times we think certain things are normal and certain ideas we feel we must accept. And so what I would like to do is just sort of push at you a little bit and have you start thinking, maybe I don't have to accept that idea. Okay, so we're just going to put that out there today. I have one of my favorite quotes here for you from Richard Bach, the guy who wrote Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Argue for your limitations is sure enough they are yours. I've been there, we've all been there, right? Where you're just like, no, I can't because all these good reasons why I can't do this. When we do that, we are not in our own corner, I think. So, here we go. Here we go. Starting with your mindset. Your mindset. Look deeply into my eyes. I'm going to mess with your mind. Anyway, first thing I want you to do, I actually want you to do this. The rest is totally up to you, but I want you to stop. Stop comparing yourself to other teachers in your area, which you probably have been doing because we all do it. Teachers in my area charge blah, blah, blah. And we say that this is what teachers charge, or we'll say, well, the teachers at the high school charge $17 a lesson, so I can't charge much more than that. So today I would like to invite you to stop that nonsense because it is nonsense. And here's why it is nonsense. So first of all, thank you, coronavirus. There's no such thing as your area anymore. There may be people who are more comfortable with you because you live in their state or their town, but really, we really don't have an area anymore because all our lessons are online. We can teach anyone on the planet who has an internet connection. So people within a 6-mile radius of your studio are no longer your only students available to you. That was a bad sentence, but you knew what I meant. The world is your oyster, darling. You might tell me you're planning on returning to in-person lessons the minute that becomes a reasonable choice, because a lot of people are. Suzanne is here. Hey, Suzanne. And that's fine. Great. Good plan. But I'm going to suggest to you that even if you go back to normal lessons, in-person lessons, you still don't have to charge what everyone else in your area is charging. You could use this online time to set yourself apart from other teachers. The article has other ways to do that, by the way. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, so if you want the article, put that, and hopefully, I always say hopefully the bot will send you the link. And okay, and then there's this, which I also am going to address here, because it's a very good point that Stephen put out there, which is that, oh, Suzanne, hello from Germany, Suzanne. Wow, that's so cool. Stephen says, I charge an in-person rate and a Zoom rate. So he's already thinking about how those two things are very different for him. They are different kinds of lessons. So, Michelle's here. Michelle. Hi, Michelle. I'm a fan of Michelle Yenna, because she's awesome. Anyway, I want you to get away from that, because, wait, do I have my story in here? I don't. I'm looking in my script for my story. Okay. So, this story is sort of about I can't charge more because the high school teachers only charge this much. When I first moved to this neighborhood where I am now, so prior to moving here, I had moved 26 times in my life. And now I've lived here in this same area for 18 years. So, long time. When I first started teaching, teaching from this area, which was about 17 years ago, I think, yeah. The teachers at the high school, now this is according to my students telling me this, right? The teachers at the high school were charging $26 for a 30-minute lesson. Now, 17 years later, I am given to understand, again, I could be wrong about this, but they are now charging $28 for a half-an-hour lesson. So what that means is that these highly educated professionals, they all have master's degrees, at least. These highly educated professionals have taken a diminishment. What's the word I'm looking for? Help me out. They've taken a cut in pay since I've been here. Kind of a lot of a cut in pay. If in 18 years they only raised their prices $2 per lesson, right? You cannot compare yourself to that, first of all. Second of all, you know that expression, a rising tide raises all ships? A sinking tide lowers all ships. You guys, we have to charge a professional rate. We cannot keep charging the same thing from year to year. Okay, I'm done. I'm not going to go down that path because I can. You know I can. Y'all know I can. I can go down that path. So, but you're not other teachers. You are unique. And I mean, aside from your sparkling personality, you also have a unique set of skills and interests and specialties. Read my lips. You are different from every other voice teacher on the planet. So when you say that's what other voice teachers charge, you're lumping yourself in with a lot of people who have nothing to do with you. My studio has nothing to do with your studio. My area of expertise has nothing to do with your area of expertise. Or if it does, we can collaborate and raise the tide. Anyway, but that perspective of I have to charge what people in my area are charging is very limiting financially. Okay, so another thing is, so that's the money piece, and now we're going to look at the time piece. There's more to come. More to come. Wait, where is it? There's that, the one we just did, and here we go. This is the next thing. Establish healthy boundaries. Typically, we are not the best at the whole healthy boundaries thing because of that whole intimate relationship thing. We love our students. But I want you to hear me when I say this with all the love, people. Healthy boundaries do not make you mean. They make you fair. Fair is better. So in 30 years of over 30 years. I've been teaching over 30 years. I know. I was teaching when I was 5. Just kidding. The only students I have lost to bad feelings were because of my lack of healthy boundaries. I own that. The feelings were either them feeling guilty or me feeling resentful. You guys, boundaries help define a relationship. They help people know specifically what to expect from you. They tell your clients how you expect to be treated. When you don't have those internal boundaries in place, you're going to project confusing messages to your clients. And if you're wondering what I mean by implement healthy boundaries, if that, first of all, you should watch Brene. What's her last name? Brene Brown? Brene? Anyway, who needs a last name when your first name's Brene? Here are a few ideas. Start lessons on time and end on time, even if you're not done. And I'm sure Michelle's chuckling at me right now because she's had lesson with me and I'm really bad at this. I'm still working. I'm a work in progress, you guys. I know what has to be done. I don't always do it. Do not answer your students' texts and messages instantly. Please do not do that. Have a certain time of day when you will reply to business messages, texts, emails, all like that. You really don't want to train your students to put you on a leash. Make sure clients either pay ahead or you have their credit card on file. You do not want to be chasing them around. That's not cool. It's not cool of them. And it makes you feel like, oh, I hate to talk about money. Yeah, I know you do. You shouldn't have to. Anyway, sorry. Your cancellation policy. See, I get a little riled up here, you guys. I don't mean to, but your cancellation policy should be strict and not personal. I'm going to be honest with you. I now use a scheduling app, which I'll get to, and the scheduling app has all over it. If you cancel less than 24 hours ahead, you will have to pay me, blah, blah, blah. In the olden days, before I had that app, I would say to the people, the very first time I met them, I would say, I'm going to tell you this now so that you know it is not personal. And I have a 24-hour cancellation policy. What that means is that unless you are in the emergency room, if you cancel less than 24 hours ahead, and that means 24 hours, not the day before, I will charge you. So are we clear on that? And I would make them look at me and say, yes, I'm clear on that, because I didn't want to have this discussion again. And then I would often say to them, I will not let you, and I'm saying this in like a nice way, but also a very there's no mincing words here. I'm not comfortable being in the position of deciding what is fair and what is not, what's a good excuse and what's a bad excuse. That's not my job. So because I don't want that job, I want the job of being a voice teacher. Unless you are in the emergency room, you're going to pay for the lesson if you cancel less than 24 hours ahead. That was my policy. But I'm just saying, I guess what I'm saying is it's okay to not mince words, to be very clear. It doesn't make you mean, it makes you fair. So, okay, moving along, time and money. We're going to talk about you raising your prices. And if you say to me, oh, I can't possibly raise my prices now, there's a pandemic, I'm going to say, well, okay, fine. Don't raise your prices right now. But you can, first of all, yes, you could. But second of all, you could draft the email that's going to go to your people that's going to announce your price increase. You can say, you need to raise your prices from time to time, right? Not like the sad story I was telling earlier about the abused high school teachers. From time to time, you have to raise your prices because your costs go up. Somebody has to create that expectation, so let's do it. Artists and teachers have to start changing the rules. All right, so 3 to 4 months before you kick in that rate increase, you're going to send an announcement, which you will then send at the beginning of each month leading up to the price increase. And in that announcement, you will say, I'm going to do my best to accommodate students for whom this creates a hardship. And I want you to use the word hardship, and here's why. They should think about, is this really a hardship or do I just not want to pay? Because honestly, if you raise your prices $5 per lesson, that's $20 a month. If you have a student for whom that creates a hardship, yeah, you need to talk to them. That's a big deal. But for most people who are taking lessons, that will not create a hardship, but it will create a difference in your income overall. Also, I just have to say that Stephen said, you got to pay for those cleaning supplies. Yeah, well, when we first start coming back, or some people are already coming back, I wish you would not, because I worry about people getting this horrible virus. Anyway, I think that if you put that in the letter, please let me know if this creates a hardship for you, and I will do my best to accommodate you. Let me know. You will be surprised how few people get back to you about that. It'll be something between very few and none. And despite all your misgivings about changing your rate, nobody will quit. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 people will quit. Probably not, though. Probably everyone will say, oh, okay, $5 a lesson? Okay, whatever. Or however much you want to, I don't care, $25 a lesson. Doesn't matter. You raise your rates, just give them enough time. You know what people hate? Surprises. People will, if they value something, they will pay for it. But most people hate surprises. I don't. Anyway, okay. Here's another idea. If you're not comfortable with that, rather than increase the rate of your current lesson, you can make the lesson shorter. And the extra today, the freebie, where is it? There it is, word, that you will get if you put raise in the comments, goes through the math of why that's better. Sometimes it's just easier for people to handle is that it? Shorter lessons. Yes, sessions. Sometimes it's easier for people to handle psychologically the idea of, oh, my lesson's going to be a little bit shorter. I'm still going to see my voice teacher who I love. I'm still going to pay the same amount of money, and my lesson's going to be a little bit shorter. Okay, you can try that. If you give half-hour lessons, that can be a little challenging because it's hard to go shorter than half an hour. But if you're giving 45-minute lessons or hour lessons, it's not hard to shorten the lesson and create more income for yourself. Suzanne, oh, this is interesting. Okay, I'm going to take a second and put Suzanne's comment up here because it is interesting. So Suzanne says, I have 3 rates. 1 lesson every week during the school year, 1 lesson every other week during the school year, and per hour rate, which is the most flexible, right? 24-hour cancellation, right? That's what I do too, Suzanne. So she has 3 different rates. These things could apply to you, Suzanne, if you wanted to give yourself a raise. I'm just saying. Making lessons a little shorter or doing the rate increase. Particularly since we're coming up to a new year. Although you can do it anytime. It's nice to have little psychological boundaries, but you can do it anytime as long as you give people enough runway. 3 months ahead. In 3 months, I'm going to raise my prices. In 2 months, I'm going to raise my prices. People will be okay with it, I think. Every time I raise my prices, I have a complete anxiety attack. Then I raise my prices and nobody cares. They're like, oh, okay. It's crazy. Okay. Now, those of you who know me, oh wait, that was the shorter sessions. Okay. You guys are probably going to kind of roll your eyes at me because this is in the here you go again, Meredith category, but I'm going to extol on the value of this scheduling app again because it's so awesome. It looks at first glance as though you're going to be paying more money. It looks like, oh geez, now I'm going to have a monthly fee for this, and now all of my payments are going to go through credit cards, and I'll have to pay the 2 or 3% processing fee, and it looks like it's going to cost you more money, but it so doesn't. When you see how much time you save with these apps, you will not give a rip. No. Okay, so I'm talking to people who are scheduling their own students. If you have somebody who's sitting at a desk and handling all this for you, then this just does not apply to you. But most of us spend a lot of time going back and forth, scheduling our students, scheduling and rescheduling. Like every time some student has a doctor's appointment or something, it's like 6 texts back and forth about finding the next student next time because you don't want them to cancel because, right, you don't want them to cancel. So when you are not spending that time, you realize how much time you spent. If you're used to it now, you'll go, oh my gosh. It takes a little bit to train your old people to use the app. New clients won't know the difference. And it projects a level of professionalism that will help you with that boundaries thing that I talked about before. It really helps with the boundaries around money. So for instance, with the scheduling app, you're going to go to a conference. You sign up for the conference 4 months in advance. All you have to do is go in the scheduling app and block off those days. You will never have to deal with your client saying, why can't I come to my regular date? They just won't be able to. You will have something in the app that will tell them you can reschedule or cancel because I'm not going to be here. You can create an intake lesson. And by the way, if you are like me and you tend to spend more time with those intake lessons, those first lessons, if you spend more time with them, then you should charge more. And it took me the longest time, and my coach finally, I have a business coach because I need help with this. There you go. I need help with this. And she said, well, if you take more time and you take more time, then make it a special session and charge a little bit more for it. Right? Radical. So that's what I do. And it feels a lot better to me. It feels like I can actually take the time that is natural for me with a new person because I like to get to know my new people. So it just feels better. If you book people in a package session, you can do that with an app. You can do it really easily with the app. You won't have to chase them around for lessons that they've missed. They will get a reminder 48 hours ahead or however long you say that allows them to reschedule if they want to. If you are including, you can make a package that includes their music book. How would you like to stop chasing your students around for that $13.50 that they owe you for the music book, right? Oh, I'll bring it next week. No, we got to be done with that. The scheduling app is awesome sauce. It is awesome-ticity. It is fabulous. So I just want to, there are a number of them. You can look up reviews. You can ask other voice teachers. And hold on. I'm looking at Suzanne. Suzanne is telling me what she charges. And, okay, hold on. I'm going to just pull this down because this is a really good discussion. and y'all might want to comment on Suzanne's thing. She says that she has these separate amounts, these different kinds of lessons to meet her students' needs. So some need the flexibility, some prefer the fixed appointment. So true. Isn't that true? The first two options give me that paid vacation. That's good. And it's easier for people to afford. In Germany, we have direct deposit. Do you love that? I know. I have that too. It's fabulous. So she has the different kinds of lessons, different kinds of sessions that allow her students and her some flexibility, which is fantastic. And interestingly, Suzanne, because you have these different kinds of sections, you also, and I didn't say this, but I'm going to say it now because you said that, I'm going to put out there that you also have the opportunity to do tiered pricing. So, and this is yes, so she's saying yes. We all have that. So if you did, as Suzanne said, you have different kinds of sessions for different kinds of clients, then you can do tiered pricing. So that 24-hour cancellation is quite a luxurious thing. You can charge for that, right? So if you are selling packages of 6 lessons or 12 lessons or however you do it, you can charge a little less and make the cancellation a little less forgiving. Whereas that very forgiving 24-hour cancellation, you can charge more for that because that is a flexibility thing, right? So anyway, so yeah, thanks for saying that, Suzanne, because tiered pricing is a really important thing. I did not put that in the article, but I should because it's really smart. Anyway, so we're going to wrap it up. Last week I went so long, and I wanted to make sure that I honored your time this week and did not go so long. I hope this was fun-ish. I hope it was a little enlightening. I hope I shook things up for you just a little bit today because I want you to think you're amazing and I want you to think you're worth it. I'm Meredith Colby. I create confident teaching and singing for voice teachers, for CCM and popular styles. I'm the creator of Neurovocal Method. Yeah, thanks for the thumbs up. Whoever gave me the thumbs up, feel free to add to those. Facebook loves when I get thumbs up. They're like, oh, she actually is. People are actually paying attention. Anyway, I help voice teachers create confident styles, teaching styles of CCM, popular rock styles. I am the creator of Neurovocal Method. I am here every Monday, 1 o'clock Central, and different times all around the world, which are listed on my banner that I do. You can register for, my Neurovocal certification class for spring just opened up, so you can go there if you're interested in that class, meredithcolby.com. Take a look at that. And, Stephen, look at how sweet. Suzanne, he's thanking you for sharing. I appreciate your sharing. It gives us something to consider for sure. Thanks for saying that, Stephen. Anyway, have a great week, you guys. Be well. Ask for what you need. You know how I feel about that. Ask for what you need. Stay safe. Be well. Bye.